for 24 yards and averaged 1.7 yards per throw. And you are right, Lugs. Like they didn't come out and blow them out in the first quarter, but then the second quarter happened and they dropped 21 on them, and then they dropped another 14 in the third quarter, and then a 7 just to kind of wrap it up. I want to believe that the KC turned on the switch, but as good as TJ Watt is, as good as Minkah Fitzpatrick is, as good as Hayward is, I think we buy into the prestige of the Steelers. And again, I think they'll bounce back maybe next year, a year or two in terms of talent. But like, I don't know how much I buy how good, if KC's really turned it on and they've flipped the switch and they're going to be able to take down Buffalo. But I don't
think so.
I will say a great story to come out of this game was Jerick McKinnon. Here's a guy who got paid a decent amount of money when Kyle Shanahan got to the 49ers to be the starting running back, tore his ACL, essentially missed 2 years of his career. And, he came on and signed with KC is like, I think their third or fourth running back. He gets the start, or essentially he gets the start because Darrell Williams' toe, I guess, injury. And then Darrell Williams had that fumble that led to the TJ Watt touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, again, and some of it might be, again, Steelers' run defense was so atrocious this year, but McKinnon ran for 61 yards on like 12 carries, so 5.1 yards per carry. And then he had 81 yards receiving and a touchdown. So, like, he feels like he might unlock I'm not going to say they're going to be the Kansas City of 2018 when Patrick Mahomes but he might unlock that third element, because we always talked about they needed a third person besides Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. And if McKinnon can be that third guy that consistently gives them big plays, then maybe watch out for this KC team. That's the main takeaway I took from this game.
And then I'd say the biggest embarrassment of the weekend was the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams finally looked like the team they've been wanting with Cam Akers is back. Von Miller had some big plays. And then there's the cutaways of Cliff Kingsbury on the sideline. Wow, he looked rough. What did you guys think of that game? I mean, that was something.
Well, it just said to me that I want to give Kyler all the credit in the world.
Sure.
But that guy was a child playing with grown men. I mean, when you're running for your life like that and you just toss one up, I mean,
that flip.
He essentially, that was it. That moment right there. It was like, take that safety, eat that ball, and maybe you get another shot. But you throw that up for grabs. These are professional grown men here.
I think that made it 21-0 too, didn't it? Wasn't that the?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just, they were never in that game, and they were never going to be in that game.
Are you surprised, though? Weren't they a better team all along than this?
Well, DeAndre Hopkins, I think, you talk about having one guy that sort of makes things run. I think without DeAndre Hopkins, they didn't have that little ingredient. Whereas on the other side, Odell, OBJ finally showed up.
Yep.
Again, kind of like the McKinnon thing. Yeah, the kind of takeaway where maybe it changes the way you look at a team is, yes, definitely it felt like, Baker Mayfield's favorite player, Odell Beckham. He started to really, put it together with the Rams, and it feels like he's grown to have like a simpatico. Because again, his numbers aren't overwhelming, but again, it's just because the defense was so dominant that I think Sean McVay went very conservative on offense. I mean, they only threw the ball 17 times, or actually 18 times. My bad. Odell had a 40-yard pass play to Cam Akers. But,
when you're down to those kind of plays, man, it's over. Sorry, but
well, let's just put it this way: the warning signs for Arizona, and I agree with Lugs. I think there's three factors that really hurt them on offense. Is three of their most important player, DeAndre Hopkins, couldn't play. James Conner did play, and he was a huge factor for them when they were riding high early in the season. he was out there and he even scored a touchdown, but you could tell he was not. He only had 4 carries, obviously because they got down so quickly. But he, him not being 100% hurt, and then also Rondale Moore tried to play, but he wasn't right either. And then you have AJ Green, who, God bless him for still trying to play. I just think he's the ghost of AJ Green now. I don't think he has anything left in the juice. And to be fair to Lug's point, Kyler Murray has to understand, like, he needs to eat the safety, because that would have put him down 16-0. At least that's 2 scores. Albeit you have to score two pointers, but like when you allow that touchdown, and then even the other pick that he had where he was throwing to Connor.
Yep.
That was, the touch was off, and also the position was off. It's not Connor's fault for not catching it. Connor kind of volleyballs it and it gets intercepted. And it was just, and also again, I know I've waffled back and forth on him. Again, you're talking Cliff Kingsbury versus Sean McVay.
Right.
I'm always going to go Sean McVay.
Yep. It looked a little bit like street ball by the Cardinals there, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was tough to watch.
All right, looking forward now, we've got the Bengals at the Titans on Saturday and the Niners at the Packers. The forecast in Green Bay is temperatures at night in the single digits, fellas. Frozen tundra. So let's talk about the first game, Bengals-Titans. Who do you like?
I like the Bengals. Even though Derrick Henry's supposedly coming back, I was totally impressed with what they did. Burrow does. I mean, he's playing way beyond his years, and plus the just what the relationship with Jamar Chase. That's like Brady and Gronk. That's sort of innate. Those guys know each other very, very well. I think Tennessee is their defense is always, capable, and Vrabel is the one hoodie acolyte that I think can come up with a game plan to be competitive no matter what his personnel. But I got to go with the Bengals on this one.
I want to go Bengals, and I think they can make a game of it because I think there's quality corners on the Titans, but I don't think anyone can truly stop Jamar Chase. But if the Bengals are going to have a shot, they're going to have to play like they did against KC, where they just go balls to the wall. Because I get why people sleep on the Titans, because offensively they were kind of, particularly after Henry went out, they were fairly up and down mediocre to some extent. If you look at Tannehill's numbers, he looks like a middle of the pack quarterback. He pretty much didn't have AJ Green the whole year. I mean, Julio at this point has been a waste of money for him. He just has. But if they're healthy, particularly AJ, and if Derrick Henry's back, and even if Derrick Henry's back, Deontay Foreman in his place has had 300-yard rushing games, so they still have other people that can run. And I just think their defense has been underrated because, again, I know they're not flashy and they're sexy, and people look at Buffalo and KC and should say that should be the AFC Championship game, not a divisional round game. The reason it's a divisional round game is both those teams were beaten by the Titans. So that's why I have to go. This just pains me as a Joe Burrow acolyte. I got to go with the Titans.
You're going chalk. I'm picking Bengals. I think Tannehill can't do it. He doesn't get any love, doesn't get a lot of press. Joe Burrow is our guy, so I'm picking the Bengals. Okay, game 2. Niners at Packers. This is an interesting game up in Green Bay, cold.
Okay, I today just decided we should not make weather a factor in a sports game.
What?
Now we'll never get away from that with Green Bay. They'll always want the frozen tundra. But I've come around, I know, grudgingly, to the Kyle Shanahan side of the board here.
Well, what? What?
I know, it's crazy.
You've been drinking or what? Smoking?
I just took a blow to the brain, I guess.
Benadryl?
Anyway, I just think that, it depends. If Bosa's back, if those two guys are back, they're going to whack the you-know-what out of Rodgers. They will get a shot on him.
Yep.
They will make him uncomfortable. So I think that's their only shot. If you let Rodgers stay on his spot, he'll kill you. He just will. He's that good, and they've got players. So I'm gonna that kind of motion there for the 49ers.
All right. What do you say about that, T-Dog? Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go chalk again.
Chalk.
I feel
Chalk.
the Packers again. They're getting I believe Jair Alexander back. I believe Bakhtiari might be back.
2 weeks to rest up for this one.
Yeah. Zadarius Smith might be back.
Smith brothers.
So that's the thing is I think they're getting healthier. I want to go 49ers because again, I love Deebo Samuels. I love watching George Kittle. Ayuk's fun to watch too. I like Kyle Shanahan. I just feel like again, if I'm gonna decide who's gonna win between Aaron Rodgers and again, he's not bad, but I'm just saying the disparity between Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Garoppolo is fairly vast. And again, that game should have been put away. That Jimmy Garoppolo almost has one turnover a game. That interception was that he always has one turnover. You're like, what the hell? For a guy who makes so many good quick release passes that work, he always has that one.
Almost cost him, didn't he? Almost.
Yes.
Real
so
close.
That's why I'm going with the Packers.
I'm going to go Niners in my heart, but at the end of the day, I think Deebo is going to be the X factor, number one, if he can break through the defense. But number two, you're right, Aaron Rodgers over Jimmy Garoppolo, that's not a contest. Aaron wins that one. But if Jimmy has the game of his life for his next contract, we'll see. But it's going to be cold. All right, Sunday, we got game one is Rams at Buccaneers, and this is an interesting game, I think.
Yeah, in this one, I've got to go with the Bucs just because I think Stafford is going to blow up again and give us a 2 interception.
Oh no,
day.
A Detroit day? What? No.
Plus, I just think the Bucs, those boys on that defensive line. They again will be chasing Stafford, but you got to give it to the Rams. They're peaking at the right time. If you can make one game a peak, they did.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bucs.
I'm going Rams, mainly because they beat them week 3, and that's when they were fully healthy. They are now missing Godwin. They're now missing fake Vax card Antonio Brown.
Right.
And the Rams have added Von Miller, and Von Miller has started to come on.
And Antonio Brown's missing his shirt too, by the way.
And Odell Beckham is starting to turn it on. I agree there is trepidation because Stafford had before this game had just again kind of like Garoppolo. He's like a bigger play Garoppolo. He has like at least a turnover a game where you just are like, I have no idea what just happened here.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
And also the other big takeaway from the Eagle, even though the Bucs took care of business, Tristan Wirfs got injured. Their offensive line got banged up, so they might. And also, I don't know if Fournette will be able to play. Again, I think Vaughn and Gio played heroically. That's probably an overstatement for the Bucs, but I think they need someone with real juice and like a Fournette to really slow down that pass rush. I don't know if they have that guy. So that's why I'm going Rams.
Yeah, I'm going Rams too. I think the Bucs have run out of spare parts. I think Aaron Donald will have something to say. I don't know, but I also think another key factor will be X factor. And Ndamukong Suh, say hello to Mr. Stafford, former players on the same Detroit Lions team. But I think when it's all said and done, I like the Rams to pull this out, and they're on fire, I think, right now. So we'll see. All right, the cleanup game, the late game on Sunday on CBS. Bills at Chiefs, again, another rematch, another fascinating game. What do you guys think?
Well, I was totally impressed with Buffalo, and I'm a little shaky on KC, so I got to go with Buffalo. That team that played the Patriots, that was a Super Bowl type performance to me. That establishes you in all 3 phases of the game. even on their special teams, they were doing really